have not done a ton of stand-up in Chicago yet because I've only been here for a few months. So thank you. This is one of my first ones. So you have to be nice. Actually, the reason that I'm so new here is because I used to live in Spain. Yeah. I studied abroad in Barcelona when I was in college, and me and my partner were like, okay, yeah, this is pretty cool, we should come back. We had a very magical experience in Barcelona, and I want to share the most magical moment with you all. Picture this. It's our last day. We're moving out of the apartment where we stayed, and we realize that, you know, like all broke college students, we had hoarded a ton of pea soup in the freezer. And we go, what do we do with all this pea soup? Well, what do you do to get rid of soup? You throw it in the toilet. Does no one else throw their soup in the toilet when you need to get rid of it? Okay, I grew up in a household where when we had leftover soup, which there were always leftovers in the fridge, because that was the kind of household I lived in. It's like, oh yeah, no, we'll eat it tomorrow, we'll eat it. No one ever eats it. It stays in there for a month, and then someone goes, oh, I gotta get rid of this soup. Put it in the toilet. That's what we did. I didn't know until this moment that wasn't normal. You're telling me now for the first time. So I was like, we always put soup in the toilet. So we do that, but we missed a key step. And that was unfreezing the soup. So we have these blocks of pea soup in the toilet, and we think, okay, we gotta melt this before we leave, because we can't leave the apartment like this. What is something warm? No. I think you all see where I'm going with this. So we turned this pea soup into, well, I shan't say. And we were like, wow, that was great. We should go back to Spain. So we did, and I taught English in Spain. You would think that I made the choice to go back because I had gotten good at Spanish. I didn't. You would think I had become an English teacher because I was good at English. I'm not. Which was really funny because that was my whole job, was to be the resident person who's good at English. And I was like, I can't do it. Kids would be like, how do you spell restaurant? And I'd be like, I don't know. Google it. I got paid for 2 years to tell kids to Google things. And I was really good at it. But the thing, if you're not familiar with the Spanish school system, which I'm sure we all are, but for those who are not familiar with the Spanish school system, the Spanish government did this wild thing where they took like half the schools in the country and they were like, surprise, you're bilingual now. That was news to all the teachers. So a bunch of teachers who did not speak English were suddenly English teachers. Yeah. It was not fair to them, and they were doing their best. They were doing a great job. But it did make for some weird miscommunication sometimes. Like, one time I was in the teacher's lounge, and this teacher comes up to me and says, oh, hey, just so you know, there's going to be a bomb threat today. I go, what? She goes, yeah, I just want to let you know. It's bomb threat day. And I was like, okay, like a few different things we have. Are you telling me that someone called in advance to be like, hey, just want to let you know, I'm going to do a bomb threat. Crazy. Anyway, see you later at 2. How did you know? Turns out, she meant fire drill. It was fire drill. Another one of my favorite strange moments while teaching was I had a teacher that I worked with who would always set his work problems in New Haven. One time, yeah, I too found it curious. So I said, why New Haven? And he said, oh, it's because New Haven isn't real. Now, for those of you who don't know, context, New Haven is real. It is. And I said, no, New Haven is a real place. And he said, no, they made it up. for the Truman Show. And I was like, no, I've been to New York. And he said, or have you just seen the Truman Show? I had one teacher, I loved him dearly. He was teaching technology, and he would do these PowerPoints in English, and often he would get to a word, and a kid would be like, what's that mean? And he'd be like, Alex, what's that mean? And because that's what I was there to do. But sometimes it would be a word that was really hard to describe. Like one time he was like, Alex, explain this. And he was pointing at the word down. Like, how do you describe down? I was like, I didn't know what else to do. I loved this guy. I had to give him a lot of pronunciation notes. For instance, a lot of the materials that they would use, they would talk about like cement. I would be like, remember, it's cement. He continued to say cement. That is true. And when they were learning about engines, it was always anginas. He could never quite get that one right. Okay, I am going to leave you all on this one. I was an assistant in ethical values because Spain is a very Catholic country, so you could either take ethical values or Catholicism. You got to choose because Catholicism used to be a requirement. So you could learn some morals and values, or you could learn Catholic guilt, and the parent gets to decide. I was once teaching the kids the trolley problem. Because that's what you do. I didn't notice that I had accidentally put up a picture in the PowerPoint. Someone had edited the trolley problem, so the trolley would hit everyone. I had a student, and he raises his hand, and he goes, is it my dad? And I tell him, no, it's not your dad. Just, it's people you don't know. And he goes, okay, I hit the 5 people. And I go, why? And he goes, more for me to eat. True